Hey guys, I just wanted to come online today and talk to you for a few minutes about 5 ways to clear your tarot cards. I just got a new deck, and this is called the Light Seers Tarot deck. Maybe you've seen this one. I wanted it for a while. I was going to buy it like last winter, and I saw that there were some problems with the decks, so I wanted to wait until they put out the new ones. So I finally picked it up, and I opened it, and then I remembered that I wanted to do this. I thought, I'm going to clear these cards, and there's no reason why I can't show you how to do it in case you don't know, right? This booklet is pretty great, actually. It's really thick and well made. Oh, and I love it. It's got the light and the shadow side. So I'm going to guess that the shadow is probably the reversal energy for the card. So I'm really excited to look through this. So the first thing I usually do when I get a new tarot deck is just look through all the cards and make sure that I like, make sure I like it. Get a good feel for it. Make sure all the cards are there. And just kind of admire it. Oh my gosh, this is really pretty. Look at this. This is the Fool. Isn't that really pretty? I just love it. Gosh, so nice. Well, they're really beautiful. Oh, there's, I love that. It's men and women as well. Oh, the lovers. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Cool. Strength. So this card always has a lion on it. She is the lion. I like it. The Hermit. These are really beautiful. I'm glad I waited and got these. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, these are great. Oh gosh, there's Death. So Death is one of those cards no one likes to see coming. But it's really not that bad. It's just an ending, a rebirth. That's cool. All right, so first things first, we'll get right into it. The 5 ways that I like to clear my tarot cards. They may not be your 5 ways. You may have additional ways. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. I'm just saying these are the 5 ways that I have done it and have seen people do. There could be other ways. So the first way, probably the most common way that you've heard of, is to use the sacred smoke. I think most people use sage, which I do have a little bit of here. I have one little tiny sage leaf that I've been using. So usually people burn that in a shell, and this is honestly just a little, I think it's a little oyster shell from the beach or maybe even from home here. And I have a tiny little piece of Palo Santo. This is another kind of smoke that you can use. And another favorite, and this one is one that's more plentiful, and I think there's like some cultural appropriation issues with the other ones for some people. And I'm not going to say whether you should or shouldn't use them. I think that's entirely up to you, but there are going to be people who disagree with me. This is cedar, and cedar is, I think it's more plentiful. If you have an issue with using smoke, don't use it. You don't have to. There are other ways. But basically, to use the smoke, what I do is I'm just going to light this Palo Santo that I have. Be careful. Burn it in a fireproof dish. If you don't have a shell, use a fireproof dish. Be very careful. You want to get a good smoke going on. I don't like to burn a lot of things, actually, because my fire detectors don't like it. My fire stick's running out. Do you see that? It's done. All right, but I did get a little bit of a thing going here, and you can see a little bit of smoke coming off of it. So what I usually do then is I've got my smoke going and I start flipping cards one at a time. And you can kind of do this as you look at the cards. So you take your card and you go over the smoke and back through it, over it and back through it. And then I just set that card aside, it's done. Next card. You see what I'm doing here? It's kind of hard to see because it's out of sight, but this is the smoke. I just go over it and back over it like that. Being careful. All right, so that's one way that you can do it. Here's another way, and I didn't grab them, so I'll be right back. All right. The second way, way number 2, is to use some black kyanite or smoky quartz. And you would do this, I think for me, smoky quartz is more like a thing that I would store with my deck or set on top of my deck. It's more of a like, is it in the vicinity of the deck? So if I've got my tarot deck and I want to keep the energy in the deck clear, I would just set the deck like this and leave the smoky quartz on top of it. So you'll see a lot of times people store their tarot cards with some kind of crystal on top. I prefer smoky quartz because it absorbs negativity. And if you really want to clear, if you feel like you really need to clear your cards, you can touch each card with this black kyanite. These are really good at clearing energy. I've never really come across anything that this couldn't clear away. So again, I would just take the not the smoky quartz, take the kyanite, and then I would touch the card to it. And alternately, you could store the entire deck. Once you've cleared the entire deck, you could just store the deck with a little piece of black kyanite. This is a little crumbly. It's not something that you want to drop because it will shatter. But it's very, very handy. All right, way number 3, and I don't do this because I don't have any of these, but if you have singing bowls or bells, you can use those to clear your tarot cards. And you would just hold the deck or put the deck near you and ring the bell or play the singing bowl. The fourth way is Reiki. And this is, I probably use this more often than, to clear an entire deck, I use this more often than even smudging, because for me it's very quick. I don't have to touch every card because I am touching the cards, just holding them. I just hold them in my hand and channel Reiki into them. And I can feel when it's done. And then the last way that I clear my tarot cards, and I do this usually in between readings, just to get the energy of the last reading off of them. If I have decks that I use more often, I'm more likely to do a Reiki clear. But if I'm doing like a couple of readings in succession and I don't feel like there's a lot of heavy energy that has kind of stuck to them, then I would just give them a whack. I just, knock on them, and that takes care of it. It's like a reset. So like I said, there's a lot of different ways that I think that people do this, and I do think that some people get stuck in one way or another, and they might think, oh no, I don't have any smudge. Well, you don't need any smudge, okay? And you don't actually need anything to clear your tarot cards other than, so I just wanted to share that with you guys today. I'm going to look through the rest of this deck and I'm going to do a reading for myself. You guys have a good day.